Newcastle and Liverpool met in a rematch of last season's League Cup final, although it has since been overshadowed by the Alexander Isak saga. Eddie Howe named an unchanged side from a team that drew with Aston Villa. Arne Slot made two changes to the team that beat Bournemouth, with Curtis Jones and Ryan Gravenberg coming into the midfield to replace the injured Alexi McAllister and Jeremy Frimpong, as Dominic Soboslai moved back to cover at right back. Unsurprisingly, given the off-field circus, St James's Park provided a hostile atmosphere for the visiting Reds, yet Liverpool seemed to play right into Newcastle's hands. Newcastle wanted to get stuck into Liverpool, forming a 3-5-2 shape to press Liverpool high, whereas Anthony Elanga would track Milos Kerkez, Harvey Barnes would press the centre-backs with Anthony Gordon, seeing Tino Livramento push up to cover Soboslai instead. With the midfielders each picking up their opposite number, Newcastle were cutting off the short options for Liverpool. Combined with the intensity of Newcastle's press, this obviously made it difficult for Liverpool to play out. It also left Newcastle 3 versus 3 in defence, so Liverpool instead looked to play over the press, with Alisson Becker hitting the ball long. For the most part, these long balls were aimed towards Cody Gakpo on the left, who had a better chance of winning aerial duels against the shorter Kieran Trippier. Newcastle were much stronger in the air than Liverpool though, and so these long balls never amounted to much for the Reds. Every time Liverpool got the ball, they were basically handing it back over to Newcastle. It wasn't impossible for Liverpool to play out. By including Alisson in the build-up, they could outnumber the forwards, able to pass around them to find a free man. They also managed to create space in midfield by having one of the midfielders drop into the back line, drawing away a Newcastle man. Even when they managed this though, it was often followed by a long ball. Forcing Newcastle into chasing them and tiring them out was risky, but could have helped to quiet the home side, who surely couldn't have maintained that level of intensity for 90 minutes. The alternative clearly wasn't working, it was only encouraging Newcastle and their supporters, boosting the fierce atmosphere rather than taking the sting out of it. Liverpool were essentially playing a game that Newcastle were much better at. Like Newcastle, Liverpool would press high, with Florian Wirtz pushing up next to Hugo Ekitike to form a 4-2-4 shape. Going long suited Newcastle much better though. Even if they lost the initial header, they had 3 players in midfield, all up for a battle, ensuring they outnumbered Liverpool's to win the second balls, while Gordon was happy to drop off to join them too. They seemed to be targeting Kerkez in particular, with combinations of Bruno Guimaraes, Elanga and Trippier moving up to draw him out, as another made a run behind him. Mohamed Salah remaining high on the opposite flank also gave Livramento space to push forward into. Nevertheless, it was Liverpool that opened the scoring. They won the ball back at a throw-in, and a long shot by Gravenberg caught Newcastle out. There was little power in the shot, but with 3 players between him and the ball, Nick Pope was left unsighted. Although barely creeping in off the post, it's unlikely the goalkeeper would have been able to reach it even if he had seen it coming earlier. Newcastle's intensity then worked against them shortly after. Gordon chased down first Ibrahima Konate, then Alisson, then Virgil van Dijk, throwing himself into a late challenge from behind as the Dutchman kicked it long. Gordon tried to pull out but had already overcommitted, raking his studs down Van Dijk's leg to earn himself a red card. Things would then get even better for Liverpool as the second half kicked off. Newcastle kicked it long, but Liverpool won the second ball with Guimaraes and Joelinton pushed forward in attack, giving them space to counter. The counter was slowed down as Newcastle backed off and got men back, but 3 players moved towards Gakpo to close down his shot. This saw the shot blocked, but it also meant Ekitike was left in space on the edge of the area, and he placed his low finish out of the reach of Pope. Liverpool had very much been second best, yet they were now 2 goals up against 10 men. Surely it was game over now. No. Down a man, Newcastle stopped pressing as they had previously, instead dropping back into a 4-3-2 shape. This saw Liverpool have much more of possession, settling into a much more comfortable game for them. This lasted for just 10 minutes before Newcastle pulled one back. Liverpool headed away a throw-in, but Sandro Tonali crossed the ball back into the box. Guimaraes headed home at the back post, rising above Kerkez, who crouched down rather than competing with the Brazilian in the air. Emboldened by the goal, Newcastle upped their intensity again, pushing forward to press. Outnumbering Newcastle, Liverpool were now much more willing to try passing around this pressure, getting the ball into attack. However, there were also moments where they once again kicked it long rather than playing out. With just minutes to go, Newcastle equalised. Liverpool kept a very high line for a free kick in Newcastle's half, so Pope knocked it in behind. Battling with Dan Burn, Konate let the ball bounce through, allowing substitute William Asula to run onto it and tap it into the net before Alisson could claim it. Liverpool once again threw away a 2-goal lead, but this time it was thanks to poor defending at set pieces rather than leaving themselves open as they had against Bournemouth. Newcastle continued to threaten from set pieces, yet it was Liverpool who ended up stealing a winner. Quick passes between Konate, Gravenberg and Harvey Elliott saw them work the ball through the midfield into attack, where Liverpool had 5 men against 4 defenders. Wirtz drew out Lewis Hall, and with Salah drawing away Burn, he passed inside to Federico Chiesa. Malik Chow stepped up to Chiesa, forcing Livramento inside to pick up Soboslai. So when the Hungarian dummied Salah's pass, 16-year-old Rio Ngamoa was left completely free at the back post. firing his finish in the opposite direction to where Pope was going. It was a pretty terrible performance from Liverpool, yet they still managed to escape with the 3 points. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to support the channel. This will help show my work to more people and ensure that you see future videos. You can also help me out by sharing this video with people you think would like it. You can keep up with what I'm working on by following on social media, links are in the description, but most importantly by supporting Holding Midfield on Patreon. Without financial support, these videos will simply cease to exist, as they just require too much time and effort. So if you enjoy these videos and would like to see more of them, please consider helping me out financially, and in return you'll get access to exclusive content, as well as early access to those that appear on YouTube. Thanks for watching.